Good.
Hola amigos, soy Janie. Esto es Fincate. Bienvenidos. See that olive tree there? It's a beaut. It's enormous. I can't tell you how old it is because no matter what anybody tells you, it is impossible to date an olive tree without chopping it down. And you cannot date it by counting the rings because olive trees hollow out from the center very, very quickly when they are very young. So our grandfather olive, he could be 50 years old, he could be 500 years old. Why am I calling him him? He. This is our front gate here, and this olive tree is actually on our land but outside of our front gate. Okay, the other thing, people say that you can date your olive tree by measuring the girth of the trunk, but that is also completely incorrect, simply because the climate is different everywhere. The trees, everywhere in Spain for sure, the trees grow at different rates depending upon their local environment. So there is no real way to tell. It's impossible to know how old these trees are. But the likes of this has been here a very, very long time. Now, when we first got here, our neighbor told us that all our olive trees were wild. This is not our understanding of the word wild. I think what he really meant was they were self-seeded, because no one in their right mind would plant the olives in the locations that they are planted. They had to have grown up themselves. A few of them clearly have been deliberately planted. They look like they might sort of be in rows, but some of them are growing out in the middle of rocks and really hard to get to places, and you know, a farmer would have to be insane to plant his trees like that. So that's what I think they meant when they said wild. A truly wild olive grows the tiniest of olives. They're not anything that you could eat. And I asked if I kept pruning the wild ones, would they eventually grow big olives, and I was told no. So I don't understand quite how we got from wild olives to what we have here. Now, you may have seen in the news stories about the olive harvest in Andalusia in particular has failed. And in many parts of southern Europe, the olive harvest is very poor this year. Now, last year we had a very poor year. We only had enough olives to press to make oil for us. We didn't have enough to take and sell to the cooperativa, which was kind of disappointed. We maybe had about 300 kilos altogether. That's out of 200 trees. I mean, that's abysmal. The year before we had 4 tons. So big difference there. This year the trees are laden, and almost every single tree is just groaning with olives. So the price at the cooperativa has gone up to a whopping €1.29 per kilo. We have never, ever had a price quite like that. It's always been under €1, always. So, although we are pressing some for us, and we did our first pressing just a couple of days ago, we're going to do another pressing, supposed to be this week, but the weather's been abysmal, so I don't know, but we'll wait for a couple of nice days so the ground dries out, and then we'll do another pressing, and that should give us enough oil to last an entire year, and to be able to give some to friends and family as well. The rest we will harvest and take to the cooperativa. Now, there have been reports in the press in Spain about olive thefts. That's thefts of olives off the trees, and I could hardly believe that, because thieves tend to be lazy people, and harvesting the olives off the trees is jolly hard work, so I'm amazed that they did that. Thefts of lorries and trailers full of olives, and thefts of olive oil. So where they're actually stealing that from, I don't know. But we decided to harvest the trees. We have 2 trees outside of the main gate, and we thought, rather than tempting anyone who's passing by, we will just clear those trees. Look at this. Olives, 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 olives. Let's go in under the tree and I'll show you what I mean about hollowing out from the inside. Clyde, what you doing? I'm trying to show people that down there might not be the best tree to show. I wish you were a monkey, you could collect those olives for me. Now here is a much younger tree, but you can see how it's already starting to hollow out. Yeah, that doesn't help. But you see what I mean about how no farmer in his right mind would plant a tree to come out of rocks like that. There's another big old tree here. Again, there's loads of olives up in that one. And that is growing out of stone. We actually try to prune the trees so they don't get quite that big, because when the branches are so heavily laden with olives, it can actually pull the tree over or break it off, especially when you see like sort of what's behind me here. I mean, it's just a phenomenal amount of olives on that tree. And he's quite a big one as well. This one here also, huge quantities of olives. Not quite such a big tree though. You might notice also that some of the olives are green, and some of them have already turned purplish, and some have already gone black. And on the one tree you get green, purple, and I suppose that's the closest to black. As the season moves on, they all turn black eventually. It isn't a case of there being different varieties are green and different varieties are black. All ripe olives turn black. Now the green ones, you can eat the green ones. They start from about October being perfectly ripe You can't eat them off the tree straight away, obviously. You have to cure them because they're so full of tannins, they're really bitter. I mean, disgusting. You just couldn't eat them. The other thing this year is that there is almost no olive fly. And there's a tiny hole there. There could be olive fly in there. Some years, they're absolutely covered. And we don't treat the trees. We don't give them anything chemical-wise. We don't spray them. They're totally organic. If you would like to see more in depth about how we produce olive oil, I have a film. I will try and link it wherever it appears. It's my most popular film on the channel. It's had more than 10,000 views already. Well, it's been up a couple of years, so that is phenomenal for me, but it will give you a much better idea of exactly how we produce the olive oil. And yeah, have a watch of that one after this, and you will be better informed.
A bit stiffer there.
Oh, there's a lot of come up through the middle.
Yeah, and there's a lot coming out from underneath the top disc. Smile, say sausages.
Sausages! Thank you for watching, as always. I really appreciate you being here. I'm not doing so many films anymore, but if I suddenly got more than 1,000 subscribers, I might. So share the film, tell your friends. Thank you so much. I will catch you the next time. Okay, take care everybody. See you next time.